going on, everybody? I'm Jeremy with Creole Catfishing.
Daddy, he's alright.
You want to talk to everybody? Come see. Come see. Look, come stand right here. Look, come stand right here. Look at the camera. Tell everybody hi. You don't want to tell everybody hi? He's shy today. Okay. Hey, well, as you can see,
you a trick, guys.
You show him a trick? Okay. Well, as you can see, we are not on the river, and this is obviously not my boat. We are doing some cooking today. We're going to do something a little bit different. We are going to show y'all how to cook a catfish gravy, or what some people call a catfish coubillon, Avoyelles Paris style. So, y'all stay tuned, and we're going to make something good. Okay. Every soup, every stew, every gravy, everything has to start with a base. Well, in Louisiana, when you're cooking, your base is always this. It's the Louisiana Trinity. Onions, bell peppers, and celery. Everything starts with that. So I'm going to find me one of my nice bigger onions. Now, I will tell y'all this. Y'all not going to hear me say any measurements in any of this. That's because basically we don't use measurements for very much. We just kind of put whatever we think we need to put, and we go with it. And these are fresh onions that we just bought at the store. Little local store here in town, Couillon's Grocery. Always like to cook with fresh stuff.
You got it.
You know, nothing wrong with going to one of the big stores, Walmart, something like that, and picking up some frozen. But fresh is always better. Does make a difference.
At that time,
take one of the shopping bags and we go keep up with our trash as we go. Let's put that right over there. Now, those of y'all never cut an onion before, you see it has the rings all around. What you do, you cut it, you slice it. You slice it with the rings.
Whoa.
Just like this. And then turn it sideways, then slice it against the rings. So that way you've got a nice diced onion. Size isn't very important when doing this. You can cut them as little or as big as you want. Really doesn't matter.
You can know.
This isn't one of those professional cooking shows. Okay. Onions taken care of.
What do you think, Daddy?
What I think? I think we go cook some stuff. Are you filming me, Caleb?
Huh?
Are you filming me?
Yeah.
Why are you filming me? I'm already filming me. Why are you filming me?
You sure it are?
Hey, you want to be my cameraman? Okay. You gonna film me good?
Look, you have to hold it pointing at his hand so you can see what he's cutting, okay? You want to try?
Teaching the new generation how to film YouTube videos. I love it. Okay, we're gonna break off some of the ones on the outside here. Now remember, we don't measure very much, so I'm just going to take what I think I need. I like to put about as much celery as I do bell pepper. About. So, that's the three to me that look the best.
Can I have you?
Now, I like to cut my celery up as small as possible because it helps it melt when we cook it down in the pot. And see, the bigger the stalk gets, the thinner I like to cut it. Because we want all this stuff just to melt down nice and good once we cook it down. That's about right. That's what you call an à peu près measurement. We call that in French, which means you're kind of guessing at it.
Yep.
Okay, now, first part of our base is ready. Now for the next part.
Wait.
Alright, the meat we're going to be using, this is meat off of a blue cat that we caught in the river. A little bit of a bigger fish. In fact, if I remember right, this is the same fish that we caught in one of my other videos, the one that my wife caught, where she was talking to the alligators. But this is the meat off of that fish. It was about a 12-pounder. And of course it makes a little bit of some thicker fillets that sometimes are hard to fry because of the thickness of them. Well, that's what makes it absolutely perfect for doing what we're doing here to make this gravy with it. Because when my stock is cooked down, all blended together like I want it to be, we're just going to take these big chunks of fish, you see how thick they are, and just lower it down into the liquid and let them cook like that. So I just wanted to show y'all what we were adding and where it came from. Okay, now for the next part. To start off, I'll tell you a little bit about this old pot that I'm using. This is a very old cast iron black pot. This pot is close to 100 years old. My wife's grandmother, I believe she got this right about during or just before the Great Depression. We found this pot years ago in the back of the shed, all rusty, didn't look like it was any more good. A good friend of mine took it to his shop, sandblasted it, got it back down to bare metal. We built a big fire, seasoned it, and basically restored this pot, and I've been using it ever since, and I love this pot. Big heavy lid, and you can tell it's a real stock pot or gravy pot because of the spikes on the inside of the lid. Helps that condensation drip back into whatever you're cooking. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make me a little homemade roux in the bottom of this pot. And all the roux is basically flour and oil. We're going to cook it down, let it thicken, and that's what's going to thicken our gravy. So first thing, we're going to turn it on about a medium-high heat, and just take some regular all-purpose flour. And like I said, I don't measure any of this stuff, remember. So I'm just going to shake me some flour down on the bottom of my pot. And what I like to do, I like to coat the bottom of my pot. If the bottom of my pot is coated, you know, where I can't see it anymore with a thin layer, that's about how I like it right there. I'm just going to take my spoon, just kind of mush up any clumps and stuff that I might have in there. And now most people you see do this with vegetable oil. I have plenty of olive oil, so I'm just going to do it with that. And we're just going to add a bunch of olive oil to this. About that much.
Where do you get that SD cord from?
Whoa.
I'm just gonna kind of take a look at my mixture. I think I need to add a little more flour to that. Don't have quite enough in it. It's a little thin. Okay.
What's wrong?
And ought to do it right there. Now, because we're cooking with fish and not red meats, I don't want my roux, I don't want my gravy in the end to be very, very dark. Like I would, let's say, with some pork or beef or something like that. So what I'm going to be doing is making what's called a blonde roux, dark blonde roux. And all that does is refer to the color that it's going to be after I finish cooking it down. So we're just going to let that start to heat up. And then once that roux is cooked down to the way I want it, then we can add our other stuff to it. Got it? Okay. Now that our roux is starting to heat up, it's going to start cooking down real slow in this pot. Now the trick is, with a homemade roux, you have to sit here and constantly stir it. Because if you don't, it'll burn at the bottom of that pot and basically ruin everything you got. And what I'm waiting for is, in a few minutes here, it's going to start getting a little bit darker. And that's what I'm waiting for, is that color change. Now, when I add other things to it and keep cooking, it's going to darken up even more. So I'm just trying to get it about where I want it to be before I add everything else. And it's starting to want to stick to the bottom of that pot too. So that's where it becomes really important that you stay with it. And don't let it get away from you. Y'all can see how it's starting to thicken up really, really good now. Starting to thicken up and darken up. Now at this point, when you're really working it fast to try to keep it from sticking, the change happens very fast. Y'all can see how quickly this thing is turning colors on me. And this is about how I want it to do the rest of our stuff. So I'm going to take it off the heat just for a second so I can step away and add some stuff to it. Okay. I'm going to add all my onions and bell peppers and celery mixture. Right there. We're going to reduce the heat just a little. And now I'm going to put it back on the heat. And let it mix with all this good stuff here. Now, you need to add a little bit of liquid to this. That's where a good old beer comes in handy. Adds a little extra flavor. And also anything that has acidity to it, especially anything with alcohol like a beer, it does what's called deglazing the bottom of that pot. Which means all this little stuff that's stuck to the bottom of that pot, you put that beer in there, it'll get all that out for you. It basically cleans the bottom of that pot and makes sure all that flavor is in what you're cooking, instead of being stuck to the bottom of the pot. And that roux is still trying to absorb a lot of that liquid we're putting in there. So we're just going to keep on working it with that liquid. So we're going to fry these onions down, kind of get them reduced down. Also add a little bit of our seasoning, which is Creole's Cajun seasoning. They make that themselves at the store where I bought all the onions and stuff from. So we're just going to add a little bit of that to it, just a little dusting. Get that stirred up. Also going to add just a little bit of garlic to it, not a whole bunch. Starting on with a little garlic. Now that we've got some of this cooked down, you can see those onions and bell peppers and celery kind of softened up a good bit. Now we're going to go ahead and just add some water. And it takes a good bit. I'm going to go back and get a few more cups. Okay. Now we've got enough water in our pots. I'm just going to stir it up nice and good. Make sure we've got everything off the sides. Don't want anything stuck to the sides. Now, anytime you add anything to a gravy, or any kind of cooking for that matter, you want to season it just a little. You don't want to wait and add your seasoning all at the end. It's never a good idea. Season it as you go. And then any big store you go to has all kinds of different of these seasoning mixes. I prefer this one. I've used it for a while. I think everybody knows what Tony's is by now, Tony Chachere's. That's a good one to use. It's all about preference. Alright, we've got all that mixed up. Feeling the bottom of the pot. I don't think we have anything stuck anymore. So, what we're going to do, we're going to let this come to a slow boil. We're going to put the cover on it. And we're going to let this sit for a pretty long time. There's almost no such thing as too long. I'm probably going to go, hour and a half, 2 hours. Just let this stuff roll and boil slow, mix all together real nice. Then it'll be catfish time after that. Alright, I'll make a little check on our gravy here. Oh yeah. Coming along nicely. Give it a little stir, and probably been about an hour. Just gonna give it a good little stir and put the lid right back on it. Let it go for a while longer. Alright, now comes the best part, and that is to add our catfish into our gravy mixture. And here's what I got right here. Now all I did, I took some of that seasoning, I put it in this Ziploc bag and just shook it, mixed it up real good. That way my fish is already pre-seasoned when I add everything. All I'm going to do is very gently, I'm just going to let my fish drop in the pot, hopefully without making a big old mess. Okay. I'm just going to give it one little stir. And now we're just going to let it boil, and this hot mixture is going to cook our fish for us. Now it's very important to not come and want to stir this up, because what will happen if you keep trying to stir this while you're cooking it, your fish will fall apart on you. So we're just going to sit there and let it cook. For the size of those fillets that I have, probably 20-30 minutes, but it should be done. But we'll come check on it in a little while. Okay, it's been about 25 minutes. Just want to take a look and see how my fish is doing. I opened it, let it keep a little bit of that steam off the camera. Okay, guys, see how the fish is floating? That means it's just about all the way cooked through. But I'm going to be real gentle and just kind of stir the bottom of the pot there. Real easy. I don't want to bust up my fish. Okay, so everything's looking pretty good so far. I'm just going to put the lid back on it and let it go a little while longer. Alright. We're going to do us a little taste test and kind of see what we got right here. Let's see if we need to add anything. Oh, it's hot. Hey, what? I think that's pretty good. Yo, you come try it. I'm trying to see what you think. I think it's pretty. I don't think it needs anything. Think it is good like that? Now, folks, the one thing I hear all the time about Cajun food, Creole food, whatever you want to call it, is that it's spicy. It's hot. It's hot. Guys, just because it's Cajun food does not mean it is hot. We season our food very well, good seasoning, but it doesn't have to be spicy. It doesn't have to light your throat on fire every time you eat something. I personally don't like spicy food. I don't. But my food is well seasoned. It's well flavored. Big difference. We're just gonna I let the lid open on the pot. I'm gonna let it boil a little while longer because I want my gravy to be a little thicker than what it is. So we're just gonna let it roll for a little while, thicken up just a bit, and I believe we're fixing to be ready to eat. Hey boy, what are you doing? What are you doing, Caleb? Alright, we have it cooked to where I'm pretty happy with it. It's time to eat. So we're going to show y'all how we typically serve this up. Got us a little bit of rice cooked in a rice pot. And as you can see, we're eating on the fine china tonight. Styrofoam paper plates, good stuff. And you come on over, get you a little bit of that gravy mix and just pour it right over on top of the rice. There we go. And last but not least, just be easy when you stir it, Gabe. Just fish you some of that catfish out of there and put that right on top. What I like to do, I take that slotted spoon, grab me some of those onions and bell peppers, and you put that over the rice too. And there you go. There's a plate of Creole style catfish gravy. So, hope y'all enjoyed our little video, a little bit of look into our Creole cuisine, how we like to cook things. If you like what you saw, hit the thumbs up. If you want to, go ahead and subscribe. Don't cost anything. We'll try to put out more of these cooking videos if y'all like what y'all see. Y'all, thank y'all very much. And normally I end my videos with bon péché. Like I can't talk. I'm so excited to go eat. But it's time to eat, so it's bon manger. See y'all next time.